All right, let's get a check on what's playing out in other markets that we track now. We see it's mostly red on the screen. That's talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, major altcoins that we track right there. According to Coin360, it's red there. Bitcoin, a big 1.16% drop. We're seeing Ethereum with a bigger 2% drop. XRP, 3.67%. We're seeing the drops there increasing for most altcoins that we track there. So it's red in the streets then, in the crypto streets. But let's get a check on some headlines there. See the U.S. Senate passed a bill to create a regulatory framework for U.S. dollar-pegged cryptocurrency tokens known as stablecoins. A watershed moment for the digital asset industry. The bill, dubbed the Genius Act, received bipartisan support, with several Democrats joining most Republicans to back the proposed federal rules. It passed 68-30. The House of Representatives, which is controlled by Republicans, needs to pass its version of the bill before it heads to President Donald Trump's desk for approval. Then we see ARK Invest, a cryptocurrency-friendly investment firm founded by Bitcoin bull Cathie Wood. They've continued selling shares of USDC stablecoin issuer Circle, offloading nearly $100 million. That's in 2 days. ARK dumped another 300,000 Circle shares from his three funds for about $44.7 million yesterday. According to a trade notification from Cointelegraph, the sale that comes amid Circle's stock tumbling 1.3% on the day, with shares closing at $149 after peaking above $165. That was earlier in the month there. And we're also seeing right there, BlackRock, most of these platforms buying more Bitcoin. They bought over $250 million worth of Bitcoin, continuing their 6-day buying streak and bringing its total Bitcoin holdings to about $70 billion. Let's bring in Olumide Adesina now, financial market analyst. Hello, Olumide.
Hello, Ladi. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Olumide. So definitely a lot for that investors are watching out for, right now. But we're seeing red on the screen there in the crypto market. Talk to me about how much, the Fed decision is playing into that, or is that already priced in?
I think the market is still ongoing concerns about the Middle East. The U.S. Fed is taking the second stage, surprisingly, and that's because the situation where the Americans take support for the Israelis might definitely heighten geopolitical concern. And you could see that risk appetite has been fluctuating despite fundamentals showing that the global economy is quite resilient. And, Donald Trump's tariffs has really caught risk appetite, particularly in altcoins. So what is really supporting Bitcoin, like we earlier retweeted, is the fact that institutional buying for BlackRock strategy, already owning more than 2% of the available supply, really doesn't paint the real picture, because if you look at Ethereum's price action, really oscillating around $2,500. You look at many of these altcoins losing about half from their all-time high early this year. It pretty tells you that we are in a big picture. The U.S. Fed meeting definitely, bookmakers are saying that we probably will be able to hold rates like before, but a reduction in rates will definitely amplify risk appetite and boost crypto assets in the short term. But U.S. joining the war because for the Iranians to lose their nuclear program, they really need a buster bomb from the United States to crack that open. And, bookmakers are saying that if Donald Trump joins that event, definitely we might be all out for a very bleak global economy, and that definitely weigh on crypto assets, Ladi.
Right, definitely investors be watching out for the tension right there in the Middle East. But we're seeing ARK Invest there. They're dumping most of the Circle shares there. That's for the USDC stable coin. Why do you think they're doing that?
I'm not surprised, Ladi. This is a stock that has gone 400%, Ladi. They've made a lot of profits. It's really a smart decision, taking profits off the table. And looking at the space we are in right now, definitely there'll be market correction. Don't also forget that there are concerns that Circle is heavily exposed to just Coinbase and the European Stablecoin Act. So with the stablecoin being approved by the US Senate, it really opened doors for banks, and banks are really looking at on how to eat on the stablecoin providers. Definitely, we'll see more competition in future. So I think on the market side, it's not surprising to see Access taking profit taken out of such immense rise within 2 weeks of listing.
Right. I guess it only makes sense when you're making profit. It just makes sense to take profit, off the table.
Exactly.
Profit is profit.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point. Thanks so much, Lumide Additional, there for bringing us up to speed of what's playing out to those markets.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me. Bye.